It felt like ages since I'd picked up a book for pure pleasure. Saturday afternoon, free from obligations, beckoned me to the bookstore. But the sheer array of possibilities, fiction, nonfiction, memoirs, craft books, was overwhelming. My eyes, however, were drawn to the poetry section. I loved poetry. There, nestled amongst the worn spines, I saw it, a well-loved, dog-eared poetry collection. Reaching for it, my fingers brushed against the spine, and the book slipped from my grasp. Down it tumbled, landing squarely on the head of a woman bent over the shelves, her hand outstretched to retrieve a book. "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry," I blurted out, my voice a mix of apology and concern. "Are you okay?" Ouch! A sound escaped my lips, along with a string of apologies and worried questions. "Oh my God, are you okay?" She looked up, and instead of the expected pained expression, she burst into laughter. "Why are you laughing?" I stammered. "Stuff like this only happens to me." "What? Getting hit by a falling book? What was so funny?" We both burst out laughing, the kind of laugh that comes from shared embarrassment. "Seriously, that must have hurt," I said, still cringing. "Getting hit in the head with a book will do it." "I'm so sorry," I added quickly. "It's okay," she said, rubbing the spot gently. "Accidents happen. It just so happens I'm accident-prone." "Well, then we definitely need to keep some distance," I joked, "because I'm accident-prone too." We laughed again, and I couldn't help but smile at how easy it was to talk to her. "Seriously," I said, "I could have just given you a concussion. Should I take you to urgent care or something?" "I honestly think I'll be fine," she said, her tone light. "But at least let me buy you an ice pack, or maybe a cup of coffee." I smiled. "Okay, sure, as long as you don't spill the coffee on me." She smirked. "Aren't you funny?" "Sometimes," I said with a shrug. "I'm Kaya, by the way." "Maya," she replied. "Nice to meet you." I grinned. Look at that. Kaya and Maya. It's fate. Fate that I dropped a book of poems on your head and possibly gave you a concussion. We laughed again, and from there, the conversation flowed effortlessly. We talked about our favorite poets, dissected verses, shared lines that stuck with us. Time slipped by unnoticed until the bookstore owner gently reminded us they were closing. "How are you feeling?" Maya gave me a sly smile. "I feel dizzy." I froze. "Wait, seriously?" She laughed. "I'm just kidding." "Don't scare me like that," I said, half laughing, half relieved. "Look, do you want to grab dinner? I need to make sure you're okay a little while longer." "I'm fine," she said. "But sure, let's grab dinner." We ended up at a cozy little cafe with mismatched chairs and fairy lights strung across the ceiling. It felt like a scene from a movie. Over shared appetizers and warm drinks, we talked about everything: books, music, work, and, of course, the bookstore incident. Later, as we stepped outside, I asked, "You sure you're okay getting home?" "I'm good," she said. "Really?" "Give me your number," I said. "Text me when you get in." "Okay," she smiled. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. "Yeah, hey, I just got in. I had fun." "Maya, yeah, me too. Thanks for dinner. And thanks for dropping that book on my head." "Haha, anytime. Let's do this again, minus the book dropping." "Definitely. Nice meeting you." "Likewise." The next morning, Kaya woke up earlier than usual, still thinking about last night. She reached for her phone and typed, "Good morning. How are you feeling?" A few minutes later, Maya replied, "I'm good. I feel fine, thanks. How are you?" "I'm good. I was just worried about you." "Thanks for your concern. I appreciate it." Kaya hesitated, thumb hovering over the screen. She wanted to say more, but didn't want to come on too strong. Still, something about Maya made her feel like she didn't have to overthink it. "I keep replaying last night in my head. You're really easy to talk to." There was a pause. Then the dots appeared. Same here. I didn't expect to spend hours in a bookstore talking about poetry and end up at dinner with someone who makes me laugh that much. Kaya grinned. So, what are you doing tonight? Nothing planned. Why? That evening, they met at a quiet cafe tucked between a record shop and a florist. The place smelled like cinnamon and old books, and the barista had a nose ring and a voice like velvet. They found a corner table and settled in with their drinks. Maya had a chai latte. Kaya went with a cappuccino. They talked for hours again about childhood memories, favorite albums, the weirdest jobs they'd ever had. Kaya found herself watching the way Maya's eyes lit up when she talked about her favorite poet, how her hands moved when she described a scene from a book she loved. It was easy. It was rare. As they stepped outside, the sky was streaked with pink and gold. Maya turned to her. "I'm really glad you dropped that book on my head." Kaya laughed. "I'm really glad you didn't sue me." They stood there for a moment, the air between them charged with something unspoken. The rain pattered against the worn leather of the shared umbrella, the droplets sliding off the fabric to land on the city streets below. Maya and Kaya huddled closer together under its shelter, their shoulders brushing as they walked. As they stepped out of the cafe, the sky had shifted. What was once a soft twilight had turned into a brooding gray, and the first drops of rain began to fall, light at first, then suddenly insistent. Maya looked up. "Oh no, I didn't think it was supposed to storm tonight. It's coming down really badly." Kaya pulled her jacket tighter. "Neither did I. Do you want me to walk you to your car, Maya?" "I'm actually going to wait it out. I absolutely hate driving in this type of weather. Like, irrationally hate it. Hydroplaning is my villain origin story." Kya laughed. "That's oddly specific, but fair. Do you just want to come back to my place and wait out the storm, Maya?" "If you don't mind." "Sure." Their banter continued, light and playful, as they made their way through the rain-slicked street to Kaya's. The city felt like their own private world, the bustling life of the urban jungle fading away beneath the spell of their shared umbrella. In that moment, Kaya looked over at Maya, really looked at her. Maya's eyes danced with mirth, her smile bright even in the storm. Something shifted in Kaya's chest, a warm flutter that threatened to become a full-on flight. She wanted to kiss Maya, needed to, in a way that was both terrifying and exhilarating. Kaya hesitated, her breath caught somewhere between courage and caution. "I know this sounds crazy." "Maya," Kaya began, her voice soft but sure. "I want to kiss you." Maya's smile faltered for a moment, a flicker of surprise crossing her features. Then she leaned in, her face mere inches from Kaya's. "I don't think you," Maya whispered, her breath warm against Kaya's lips. Kaya's heart sank, a cold dread washing over her. But then Maya continued, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "You know, if you kiss me, you're going to like it. I'm a really good kisser." Relief and desire crashed over Kaya in equal measure. She laughed, the sound breaking free from her chest. "Can I kiss you?" And she did, leaning in and pressing her lips to Maya's in a kiss that was sweet and tentative at first, then deepening into something more passionate. Maya's hands came up to cup Kaya's face, her fingers threading into Kaya's hair as she pulled her closer in the pouring down rain. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing hard. Kaya rested her forehead against Maya's, their noses brushing. Maya just smiled, her eyes soft and warm. "Probably," she said, "but what's wrong with that?" Their relationship blossomed like the pages of a well-loved novel, unfolding in unexpected chapters that painted a vivid portrait of their connection. One evening, Kaya invited Maya to her apartment, hoping to impress her with a carefully prepared meal. But as she stood in the kitchen, surrounded by burnt garlic and splattered sauce, Kaya couldn't help but laugh at her own clumsiness. "Well, I guess I should have just ordered takeout," she mused aloud, shaking her head. She was still chuckling to herself when the doorbell rang, announcing Maya's arrival. Kaya opened the door to find Maya standing there, her smile as warm as the August sun. "You really know how to make a girl smile," Maya teased, leaning in to brush a kiss against Kaya's cheek. Kaya's heart stuttered at the contact. "I was trying to impress you," she admitted, gesturing towards the kitchen. Maya stepped inside, slipping her arms around Kaya's waist. "You already have," she whispered, her breath ghosting over Kaya's ear. Over dinner, charred pasta, and an easy conversation, they talked and laughed until the candles burned low. It was only when Maya began trailing soft kisses across Kaya's skin that the mood shifted, growing heavy with promise. "This is absolutely crazy. I truly think I'm falling for you," Kaya breathed, her words tumbling out in a rush of emotion. She hadn't meant to say it aloud, but something about the way Maya looked at her, her eyes dark with desire, made the truth spill from Kaya's lips. Maya smiled, her fingers threading through Kaya's hair. "I think we both are," she murmured. They sank to the floor, surrounded by books and flickering candlelight. As they kissed, slow and deep, the world outside faded away, leaving only the two of them, lost in the tender moments that were building towards something new. "I've only been with one girl before," Maya admitted, her voice shy. Kaya laughed, the sound bubbling up from her chest. "Me too," she confessed. "We could be terrible at this." Maya giggled, her nose brushing against Kaya's. "Or we could be rock each other's world." They both chuckled. As they tumbled onto the cushions, tangled limbs and whispered promises, Kaya knew that whatever happened next, it would be a story worth telling, a tale of laughter and the unexpected twists that make life so beautifully imperfect. Maya's breath hitched as Kaya's fingers trailed down her body, igniting a path of desire in their wake. "Well, it's only one way to find out," she whispered, her voice thick with want. Kaya smiled, a slow, sensual curve of her lips, before leaning in to capture Maya's mouth with her own. Their kiss was languid, exploratory, each savoring the taste and feel of the other. Kaya traced her tongue along the seam of Maya's lips, nipping playfully at her bottom lip before trailing open-mouthed kisses down the column of her throat. Maya gasped as Kaya's teeth grazed her collarbone, arching into the sensation. They moved to the bedroom. They moved as one, a tangle of limbs and whispered words, until they reached the bedroom. There, they shed their clothing, barrier by barrier, until nothing separated them. Kaya pressed Maya back onto the bed, her body covering Maya's as she rained kisses along her jaw, her neck, her chest. Kaya took her time with Maya's breasts, laving each nipple with her tongue before drawing them into her mouth. Maya's moans filled the room, spurring Kaya on as she kissed a trail down Maya's stomach, her hands gripping Maya's hips. When Kaya reached Maya's center, she paused, breathing in the heady scent of her arousal. Then, slowly, she began to explore with her tongue, licking and sucking until Maya was writhing beneath her. "Oh my God, don't stop," Maya pleaded as Kaya slid 2 fingers inside her, curling them just so. "I'm about to come." Maya cried out as her orgasm crashed over her, her legs clamping around Kaya's head. Kaya held her through it, gentling her touches as Maya came down from her high. With a satisfied smirk, Kaya crawled up Maya's body, kissing her way back to Maya's mouth. Maya eagerly met her, tasting herself on Kaya's tongue. "You taste good," Kaya murmured in Maya's ear. Maya laughed, breathless. Kaya raised an eyebrow. "Not so terrible, then?" Maya shook her head. "Definitely not terrible, but maybe I should return the favor." With a wicked grin, Maya pushed Kaya onto her back and settled between her thighs. "Time for me to taste you." And taste she did, bringing Kaya to the brink of ecstasy with her mouth and hands. They made love long into the night, exploring each other's bodies with wonder and desire, the promise of more to come. Maya's lips trailed a path of fire down Kaya's neck, her teeth grazing Kaya's sensitive skin. "I'm going to give you a hickey," Maya purred, her voice laced with desire. "Oh my God, please don't." Kaya laughed breathlessly, but her protests were feeble as Maya continued her assault, sucking hard enough to leave a mark. Maya's mouth moved lower, her tongue swirling around Kaya's nipples before drawing them into her mouth. Kaya arched into the sensation, her hands tangling in Maya's hair. "Suck harder," Kaya demanded, her voice thick with need. Maya continued her journey south, kissing Kaya's waist, her hips, before moving between her legs. She trailed her fingers over Kaya's inner thighs, feeling Kaya shudder beneath her touch. With a wicked grin, Maya leaned in and began to eat Kaya out with enthusiasm. She licked and sucked, moving from Kaya's vagina to her clit over and over again. Kaya lifted her leg over Maya's shoulder, giving Maya better access. Without warning, Maya inserted 2 fingers inside Kaya, her tongue focusing on Kaya's clit. She thrust with her fingers, switching between sucking and licking. Kaya hesitated for a moment before doing as she was told. As soon as she was positioned above Maya's face, Maya latched onto her clit, sucking hard. Kaya's moans grew louder as she humped Maya's face, her wetness dripping down Maya's chin. "I'm coming," Kaya cried out, her body shuddering with pleasure. "Holy shit! What the fuck just happened?" Kaya gasped, trying to catch her breath. "You came on my face," Maya replied, a satisfied smirk on her face. "That was absolutely incredible," Kaya said, her voice filled with awe. "I concur," Maya agreed. That night, no other words were needed. They fell asleep in each other's arms, their bodies entwined, the scent of sex and sweat clinging to their skin. It was a night they would both remember for years to come. Days turned into weeks, and weeks blossomed into months. Through the changing of seasons and the shifting tides of time, their love remained a constant. They found joy in the simplest of traditions, their Sunday morning coffee runs, lazy afternoons spent reading poetry aloud in bed. Love, they discovered, wasn't a fleeting whirlwind. It was a steady, deliberate choice they made each day. One autumn afternoon, as they strolled hand in hand through a park painted in hues of gold and crimson, Kaya paused mid-stride. She turned to Maya, her eyes searching, her heart hammering against her ribs. "I don't ever want this to end," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the rustling leaves. Maya's smile was radiant, her eyes crinkling at the corners. She pulled Kaya close, their bodies fitting together like 2 puzzle pieces. "Neither do I," she replied, her words a soft promise against Kaya's ear. And in that moment, amidst the crisp autumn air and the scent of change, they knew. They had found something rare, something real, love that was steadfast and true, love that would weather any storm and endure any trial. It was a love that would last a lifetime and beyond.